All right. So here we are. We're finally getting a chance to sit down with James Anthony Perez, our first interview for the Screen Jockey channel. You guys are in for a treat. And yeah, see, this is why sometimes I just called you Anthony. This is the problem with having three names, though. That's your fault.
Yeah, growing up Latino is just you're gonna get at least 3 names.
You are? Is that a rule or something like that?
Usually 5, but 3. 3 is
So you actually kind of lucked out
I
then.
did. I think so.
Right
Yeah.
on. Well, James is here because he has been doing a lot of local acting gigs, especially in a new film, a fan film that takes place in the John Wick universe called Seraphim.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, me locally, I've been hearing about this movie for a while now. So I've been excited about it, and I finally got a chance to sit down and watch it. If you guys haven't seen it, it is definitely a worthwhile watch. It's on YouTube. Currently, it's over 24,000 views.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest fan films for the John Wick universe that's out there.
It's so cool. It's so
Really
cool
cool.
that you guys did that, and obviously, it was really exciting because we got a chance to sit down and talk and hear about your journey.
Yeah.
You didn't come from this, like, huge background of acting or anything. In fact, you said you came from the military
Yeah.
and didn't know what you were gonna do and just transitioned into it. So, guys, the reason we wanted to sit down and talk was so that I could have James share his story, why he's doing what he's doing, and kinda remind everybody it's not too late and to get involved in your local filmmaking, community out there, because that's really all you did. Like, you're not old friends with AJ, the director that made the movie.
No, no, I'm not. No, it's just yeah, really just going out and meeting the community. And here in Colorado Springs, there was a very small but very dedicated, hardworking community. And once I got in touch with them, and that was through Steve Austin, his
Yeah.
class, and got to work with great actors like Christina Aponte,
Yeah.
fantastic actors. And it's just no one's making anything here. So just after a while of just doing some classes and just talking to people, we we're making things. Like he approached me at Kickass Film Festival.
Right.
He approached actually most of us for Seraphim at Kickass. And that was probably the first community event at that scale that really brought all the filmmakers and actors together. And that's why we were able to really collaborate to make Seraphim.
Yeah.
So that's where it started. That spark started at Kickass Film Festival.
That's so exciting, and we've got another film fest coming up, and you're gonna be a part of the same
Yeah.
crew from last year?
So not same crew.
Not same? Okay.
That first crew, that was lightning in a bottle. So 2024 Kick-Ass Film Festival, our crew, yeah, we were all just it was by luck, by chance to just meet somebody, and we had a camera guy, and they're professional. We had, our director, super professional, and we were able to make something amazing.
Yeah.
So then that was literally lightning in a bottle. Don't think we can ever do that again with that same team. But this team here with, working with AJ, that made Seraphim, we're gonna be doing Kick-Ass together, so
That's so cool.
hopefully
But you're directing this time is what you were just telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a little bit I went to film school, actually.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So
So you do have a little bit of
little
education and
bit.
background, okay.
I went to, Art Institute West.
Of New York.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember because I went to the Art Institute of Dallas, and we both shared how lousy of a program that was to go through.
Right, and then they
Like the
got sued, and
Yeah.
see, yeah, they're no more, so that school's no more, but, I did go there, and, I always wanted to direct, and then acting kinda came first. So when I moved out here to Colorado, I was just trying something new. I was always like, I was in the military for a while. I worked in New York City as a public servant in the
Yeah, is it so
I was the bus police essentially, and
the lowest on the totem pole, if you
pretty
will, right?
much.
Yeah.
But it was a city job, and I felt like I had made it in New York, but I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
So I guess divine intervention. I actually got into a car accident, brought me out here to stay with some family in Colorado, and I loved it, and I never left.
That's crazy. I mean, because you are already in what would most people would consider the mecca for an actor to get their start.
Right.
And you moved far away from New York, and then you caught the bug and got into it. That's crazy.
Absolutely, but New York is like it's really cutthroat.
I believe
You
that.
have to know somebody. Nobody
Yeah.
cares about it's just so hard, and I'm not like that. I like creating
Yeah.
these groups, this community. I like staying within it and, like, really just making it more of a family. New York is all business, so
Yeah.
I couldn't really
I
clash.
I've seen the same thing because we're starting to collaborate in the same circles, and, I mean, the word collaboration is what I'm experiencing. People are kinda hungry here, they're ready to dive in, they haven't found a lot of people that speak their language and
Yeah.
come from that kind of same, cloth, and it's been really exciting. So, just to circle back to Kick-Ass, for those that don't know, because we will both be participating in that. You are actually my competitor for the Kick-Ass Film Festival, but I'm still rooting you on, obviously. So here, I mean, I know we're recording this randomly. So at the time of the recording, in about a week, we're going to be doing that. So, I mean, I could tell everybody, but you have more experience. Why don't you tell everybody what 72 Hour Kick-Ass Film Fest is all about?
Okay, so it's run by the awesome Jacob Rivera and David Chavez. Man, these guys are brilliant. They put together, they're a couple of filmmakers, and they wanted to bring the Colorado community together. They wanted to go around Colorado, like, there's people here, they're making things, and I want to see it. And so last year, 2024, was I believe, the
Fourth, yeah.
fourth Kick-Ass Film Festival and the biggest to date. And
I think we blew it out of the water this year. There's a lot more teams this
this
year.
year, I think for sure, and I hope it keeps growing. It seems like that. It seems like it's going in that direction.
Yeah.
But with Kick-Ass, so next week on Friday, what they're gonna do is they're gonna give each team a random genre, a line, and a prop
Mhm.
that you have to incorporate within your 5 to 7 minute short film. Once you get that, time starts. So you have 3 days to write, shoot, and edit an entire short film.
Don't forget, wrangle the cats of
Yes.
people
Yeah.
together.
Right.
Yeah,
So
and then deliver the full final thing at 9 AM Monday, if I'm not mistaken.
right, or you're disqualified. They don't play.
Yeah,
Like,
it
if you're a
there's
minute
yeah,
late, you can't.
and it
Yeah.
can't it's not about, "Oh, the upload time took too long." That's on you. So you actually have to be submitting by, like, midnight the night before to really make sure. So
Seriously, like,
it's exciting and intense, but
yeah,
it's a cool experience, and you've already done it.
yeah.
Now, we were talking about Seraphim, but that's not the movie you guys made for the Kick-Ass Film Festival.
Yeah.
So let's just go back to that. What was the movie that you guys worked on last year? What was the title? What was the theme of that?
So 2024 Kick-Ass, we did The Gamble He Left Us.
Okay.
And that was our team name was Safe Haven Collaboration.
Mhm.
That's the brainchild of
Cody. Yeah,
Spaz.
Spaz, yeah.
And the team, we made The Gamble He Left Us. And it was a story about a father who he loves he's like like a an uncle, friend, or a father figure to these girls. And he has a gambling problem. Sells the house, unfortunately, but he can't collect. Well, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. He bets away the house to the local sheriff, and the sheriff's like, "I'm gonna collect one way or another."
Oh.
I try to run with my family, and I get caught. But I taught my girls right, and so they fight their way out and survive. And so it's quick, like, it's very John Wick-esque,
Yeah.
very like action, but it was just such a interesting story that just came together within a day. Like, if you heard, like, some of the other pre-stories that led to this
Yeah.
one, yeah, you would not think.
So by making those mistakes in the writing room
Yes.
led to something good.
Right, and we actually changed I mean, the whole process, when we were filming, we were changing story bits because we had a few hours to make a story,
Yeah.
write a script. So as we're filming, we're like, "Okay, this is a little weird, let's change it." And being able to everybody being flexible, and that's the key, everybody on board being flexible to change something because we're like, "Okay, this doesn't make sense. If we just tweak it a little bit, it could be so much better." Those little things, just like, listen to your gut.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
it's not right, it's probably not.
So what was the genre that you guys picked? What did you draw?
We drew, coming of age. Coming of
Oh
age.
god, that's so broad.
I know.
So broad.
We were kinda grateful because some people got, like, musical.
Oh, and then you're writing a musical, yeah.
Writing a musical.
I'm a little afraid of getting musical. It's like Western and musical is what I'm
Mhm.
actually petrified of getting because I have absolutely no get up for a Western. And when it comes to a musical, I've done musical theater. I've never written one. So that's very nerve wracking, but it'll be
Challenge.
fun. It's going to be a challenge,
Yeah.
right? Like, I think that I've got a solid crew. So I think
Mhm.
we're going to have some fun with it.
Yeah,
Either way, I wanted to make sure that we're giving people, some of these people, it's the first time ever on a film set.
that's awesome.
So I just wanna make sure they're having a good experience
Mhm.
and learning something and seeing something. So, did you have a lot of first timers
We did.
and experienced people on your
Say
team?
about half. How about I would say half the crew were first time
Wow.
actors or just stepping into the role, but
Cool.
it was really great because we were lucky enough to have very seasoned we had a seasoned director, a seasoned, producer and cinematographer, and they were just on it.
Yeah.
They're very good.
That's incredible, man.
So it
When
was
it came together.
partnership. Yeah, it
Yeah.
came together,
And you guys won.
and we won.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what did you win? Like best picture? Was that the big
Yeah,
category?
so we won the best picture. We won 4, I believe. It was best picture,
Wow.
best script, best actor, and best, I believe, director too.
Okay.
I'm
Right
not
on.
100% sure.
Right on. That's cool. And where do you keep all of your awards? Are they on a mantle or something like that?
Well, I got to keep the actor award, and it's on my mantle. It's my only one, but
Nice.
you got to start somewhere.
You do. That's awesome, man. That's so cool. Well, before we dive back into Seraphim, I wanted to talk more about your career and what you've been doing. So you moved here, like we talked about, from New York, and you weren't acting currently. You had just come on the police kind of gig. And we're what, on bed rest and laying up and
Yep.
resting and healing. So how did you end up in Steve Austin's class?
So
And for those that don't know, Steve Austin is this local actor. He's been in Yellowstone recently. I
Yeah.
think it was one of his bigger uh cameos or appearances that he had. Yeah, I guess it's only a cameo if you're a big A-list celebrity.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's just an appearance. But he's an acting coach locally. I've worked with him years ago. When he rented space out of a production studio I worked at. I have this small history with him.
Okay.
And I'm a big, fan of his and teaching everyone, but that's all you did was sign up for acting class with him?
Yeah, well, something prompted me. So, in a veteran group on Facebook, this director named Alexander Pimentel, he reached out to me. He sent me an email. We're both veterans, and he was shooting a movie about a homeless veteran that kind of gets caught up in some gang stuff.
That's right. What was the name of that one? Duffle Bag Boy,
Duffle-
right? Yeah, I remember seeing
Currently
something
on
about that.
Amazon. That's
Plug it.
yeah.
Where can they
So yeah, if you want to watch it, it's free on Tubi.
Okay.
Duffle Bag Boy. And it's about $5 on Amazon. And it's my first movie. It's about 100 minutes, but it's I really I you can it took us about 3 years to film that because of scheduling.
Yeah.
It was it's for the love of it.
Right. So just schedule
Yeah.
conflicts and everything.
So
But
you
that's some dedication to still see it through to the end.
Yeah. Well, I felt like he believed that I was his character, and I felt like I had to show that, okay, I can do this. So I sought out Steve, and then I just started from there. And then through the process of making Duffle Bag Boy, applying what Steve taught me to the movie, you can actually, if you watch the movie and you just watch my acting, you can see the growth because it's over 3 years.
Okay. So like one scene's really good and the next scene
Right. Well,
you're a little rusty.
we filmed it like linear.
Oh, did you?
So
That's
we-
not normal, but yeah. That happens. That happens. Let's
So when we did that, you can really see like, okay, the progression from day one. He's obviously just not an actor or maybe just getting his feet wet, but to the last, I would say, act of the movie, it's just night and day.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I haven't had a chance to watch that one, but we definitely need to check that one out. So on Tubi and Amazon
Yeah, it's
for
on
that one.
Amazon. Yeah,
Very cool.
Double Bad Boy.
And then from that, then you said you've gotten a couple of like commercial work
Yeah.
and stuff. So just local commercial work.
Right. So I have an agent here in Denver,
In Denver? Okay.
Wilhelmina, Denver, and my agent Cassie, she's amazing. She's always there to answer my questions. Probably the most professional agent I've had.
That's really cool to hear.
Yeah, and I've gotten a bunch of work through her.
Cool.
And just so, I mean, I did a come and go commercial and I was dressed as a wrestler, but I'm pretty sure it'll be hard to find it because come and go just kind of disappeared from Colorado.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, so yeah, all the Maverick. I think the gas stations were replaced by Maverick.
Doesn't matter. You ended up with the video on your reel there, right?
So the real, I have I was there.
Cool.
And Western Governors University. I did a couple commercials for them.
Cool.
Those are a few off the top of my head. The very first commercial was a suicide hotline prevention.
That's a rough commercial.
When
to be a part
When
of.
they first came out with the hotline,
Yeah.
the 988, Wyoming it was for Wyoming, but they had like a statewide, hey, if you need help, call 988. And I was one of the actors in that.
Wow.
So that was my first, and I felt like this was a very like, especially coming from the military, kind of like almost serendipitous entry into the acting world. And it was just like, oh, I appreciate this. And so that'll always hold a special place.
Nice. And the commercial work's been good for you? Do you have any more stuff lined up right now on the
Actually,
commercial?
this year it's been pretty quiet. It's always hard in the beginning of the year. Like it's
I
like
do that.
it slows down in December and then January hits and just is nothing.
Yeah.
February, like maybe a couple of things, but it's pretty tough. I'd say like in springtime, that's when a lot of like spring, summer So they're all coming out,
Yeah.
all the castings. We need to film everything.
Well, with
Yeah.
that being said, that's why it's always fun to know people so you can create your own stuff,
Yeah.
which is what you guys did with Seraphim.
Mhm.
Like I said, I did get I finally got a chance to sit down and watch this movie.
Hell yeah.
And I was, well, what's fun for me is obviously I know a lot of the locations you shot at, which was really cool pointing out and just kind of feeling like not almost like part of the movie just because I live in that same city. But it was cool, man. You had the drone shots to,
Yeah.
change in between scenes and stuff. You had fight scenes, you had gunplay in there. I mean, a lot of things that, an independent filmmaker kind of shies away from because of all the technicality that goes into that. But you guys pulled it off. As we said at the top, it's got 24,000 views, I think is what I saw on YouTube. So this one is on YouTube. Is
Yeah.
there anywhere else to support you
It's
guys
just
or
YouTube. It's a fan film so we can't make any money.
can't make any money? Okay.
It was just really we all love John Wick, and AJ is a big fan, and he just wanted to show what we can do here in Colorado.
And that's cool. No, didn't it get started out as like a spec thing? Like they just wanted to do some stunt work for a reel?
Yeah,
And then it like exploded and ballooned into an hour-long feature?
right. So it was it was originally for a couple of friends of mine, Quentin Blanche, great actor, local actor, and Ben Darby. He just great actor. He plays my brother in Seraphim,
Yeah.
and they were supposed to have a fight scene, just choreo for their.
Mhm.
Then Kick-Ass happened, and we all said, "Yeah, we'll work with you." And AJ was like, "We need to make this." He felt he needed to show us that he could deliver. So he wanted to write something for all of us.
That's so cool.
And he delivered.
Yeah.
And honestly, I love the guy. I had my doubts because he had his plate, just kept piling stuff on. I'm like, "Do you need help?" I got it. The man's a machine, and he delivered, and hats off to him
Yeah.
because it was an amazing reception.
He put it all together.
Yeah.
I am so upset that I missed the premiere night.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. I won the free ticket, but, our cameraman Drew over here ended up going, and he said he enjoyed himself.
Oh, you were
thoroughly.
there at the premiere?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were there.
So
It was a cool night.
He's seen it. I've seen it now, and we had a good I definitely had a good time with it, and, was just jealous that I wasn't part of it. I mean, we met right before the Kickass Film Fest last year, and
Mhm.
I was being a big baby, and it was like, I don't know anyone in this town, so I didn't sign up, and I missed
Yeah.
out on a whole plethora of fun stuff that you guys have been up to.
Yeah.
Not this year. I'm not missing out this year.
You're in it this
Yeah,
year.
I'm in it. Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
So, I mean, I obviously would love to break down, but I get the opportunity to talk to AJ, who's gonna show me all the making. So let's more talk about your sequences and stuff,
Okay.
because you get to play this like badass.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was your partner's name in that again?
So, well, the actor Ben Darby.
Ben,
So
yeah.
our characters, I play Antonio Borgia
Mhm.
in Seraphim, and he plays my brother Marco Borgia.
And you guys were like the badass, like henchmen
Yes.
hired to go and track down the main guy.
Yeah, our characters were inspired by Game of Thrones, the Hound,
Okay.
and the Mountain.
Okay.
So we were gonna have our own little kind of.
They did refer to you as the big guy.
Yeah. So that was kind of like our inspiration. And then I guess me and Ben, I've known him for a while. I feel like he's my little brother.
Oh,
So
so it
it
worked.
was perfect.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, yeah, he's my little brother. But yeah, it was awesome working with him, and he's a great martial artist too.
Yeah, I could definitely tell when he was on screen. I
Right.
was like, "Oh, he knows what he's doing." You didn't just hire an actor
Right.
to swing around and do some kicks.
Yeah.
So that's really cool that you guys had that background. So who did the choreography then for it?
So stunt coordinator Gary Choi, he has his own company out in man, I forget what the name is, Rising Star, or he's gonna kill me if I don't. Gary Choi he's a legend now.
I'll dub over your voice.
Yeah. No. But he's so good that Gary just.
So you had a legit choreographer on there. So it wasn't just you guys trying to show each other what you were gonna do. That's awesome.
This guy, if you see Gary Choi, you're like, I know a kung fu master when I see one.
Okay.
Look directly at that man. So cool. He is so good. He just knows he knows his stuff. And I have a martial arts background. So does Ben, and then Quentin also. So when we met, it was almost like his team showing us and us repeating it,
Yeah.
and then them fine tuning, and it was just like it's like we all knew our parts to the dance, and we just showed up,
Yeah.
and Gary's just directing us.
Did you do a lot of like rehearsal, or did you just kind of like do it on the day and on the set and like rehearse and then shoot?
So the fight scenes, most of them were rehearsed. However, the last fight scene, the very
In
final
the
one
alleyway?
in the alleyway,
Uh-huh.
we actually we did that earlier the day because we just didn't have enough time. So earlier that same day we shot it, we we learned the choreo, we did it, we drilled it, came on set, practiced a couple of times, and we just went. Yeah,
It's awesome.
we just
The
went.
the little girl did awesome in that as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. So, I mean, real quick, throw everyone a quick plot synopsis of what your movie was about. If you don't remember, I can remind everyone as well.
Oh, okay, wait,
The Seraphim.
Seraphim,
Yeah.
okay.
Your John Wick movie, like, what was the quick plot of that? Just for people that wanna check it out.
Okay, so, it takes place in the universe, and it takes place in Colorado, so it's the Colorado Mountain chapter, and so we wanted to show that, oh, John Wick's all over the world.
Right.
Of course, there's corruption, and one of the people from the high table decides that he wants more and decides to take another person from the high table's daughter hostage. But that person from the high table has connections to the Seraphim. The Seraphim are the best of the best. They're fighters for the Vatican. So the Vatican has their own kind of like retribution,
Wow.
kind of like Boondock
Mhm.
Saints-ish, but they're more sanctioned. And so that's where Q plays. He plays the Seraphim and he is the Seraphim. So when he shows up, he essentially is it takes place within a day. He has to get the girl and he has to save her.
Yeah.
So watch to find out what happens because it's crazy.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really impressed with what
Yeah.
you guys pulled off with that. I mean, technology has come so far. We have access to good-looking cameras
Yeah.
now. I mean, obviously, it takes a small investment. You can still rent gear for pretty inexpensive. So, I mean, when I was coming up, I mean, you were barred from it. You had to have Hollywood-level budgets to get access to those cameras, and now they're more affordable. I mean, they just shot, 28 years later with iPhones. So it's not impossible.
Right.
You just need to understand your content, composition, and a little bit of lighting, and definitely good audio
Right.
to pull it off, but you can still do that with some amazing small cameras now. So that is exciting. That's one of the main things that I wanted to sit and talk to you about was how'd you get started? What are you working on? And what made you guys all to come together to make Seraphim? Because that was an ambitious project.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of the guys that were on cast and crew of that, and I've gotten to hear little tidbits back and forth. But then, of course, I was sitting there one day on my computer, and this trailer showed up. It was called Elevation with Anthony Mackie. And then it showed up in your feed, and you said, "Hey guys, I was in Elevation." And that's when I was like, "Oh my gosh, my man's making moves over here. I need to get him on the show so we can talk about his career." So Seraphim's amazing. But dude, you have gone from New York, where you weren't doing acting, to Colorado, where there's not a lot of action and gigs and stuff like that. And then you ended up in a movie with Anthony Mackie and Morena Baccarin
Yeah.
as well. And you said you were just an extra and ended up getting on camera to do some dialogue with Anthony. I mean, I got to hear about that experience.
Yeah. Oh man. So through my agency, through Wilhelmina, they had this must have been a couple of years ago. We filmed in like 2021, I believe. And
Really?
yeah,
And it's only just now
it's
coming out.
just now paying out. Yeah, about the end of 2021. And so it was one of my first gigs and I'm an extra, I had to go up to Boulder. That's where it was filmed. And it was just the whole town was just it was they just left it as it is. It's so essentially the movie is they have to survive under over 8,000
Right.
feet. And there's a town in Boulder that's pretty much that exact it's where they stay. It's like where they can survive. And while we're there, it's like really cool. It's the whole entire set. And Anthony Mackie's just hanging out there. He's just right there next to me. And I'm like, whoa, this is my first real experience. And the star's right there. It's kind of cool. I'm not gonna bother him because I'm not that guy. Plus, I don't think we're allowed to, but nobody, outwardly said like
Yeah.
do it. But he seemed really cool. He was just chilling. And then, spent the whole day there just kind of doing background extra stuff, just walking around. And there was one scene that needed to film, I think it was, like, the last scene of the day, and it was, we were on a production line, I'm next to Anthony Mackie, and we're kind of, like, going through the motions, and I'm next to him, and we're just kinda, like, talking. There's no dialogue on the camera, but I'm just like, "Hey," we're improving.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I wanna say, we're improving, just a quick little improv. And, I thought that I'm like, "This is the coolest experience." and they had essentially bumped me to, like, kind of featured extra because I was on camera with him.
Mm.
But unfortunately, my scene was cut, so that whole production line scene, I felt, they changed it at the end. They had a big they were at in a building, it was an actual kinda, like, factory-ish, so it made it look more it made it look better versus, like, the shot they kinda threw together that I got to be part of.
Yeah.
But the experience itself was just so cool, like,
That is so cool.
this is really the
I mean, it
yeah.
sucks to get cut, but at the end of the day, I can't tell you how many actors that are huge names now that have been cut from so many things.
Yeah.
So that's just now your story that you're gonna keep in your back pocket.
It's yeah.
But you still got to hang out and do that and have the experience. And of course, they still paid you
Yep,
for your
yep.
time there. Did you get a little bump pay for
I
being
did get a little bump,
That's so
and, I'm like, I have my credit on IMDb for the movie, so
that's so cool.
it's cool, like, it's a really cool experience, like, I'm so grateful, especially because my journey is, like it's very, I'm very lucky to see these opportunities and kinda go for them, and it's mostly because, like, I just want community, and I think that's the main thing. Leaving New York, I had my New York community, but everyone was leaving, I didn't really have anyone left,
Mhm.
and all I wanted was to build just kind of close friends and make family here.
You're doing it now, man.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
all I want.
I'm starting to feel the momentum of what we've been building out here
Yeah.
as well. So I hope that we get an opportunity to actually work together on something in the near future. So
Yeah, me too, man.
that would be fun. But until then, you are my rival, and I
Yeah.
wish you all the worst in the Kickass Film Festival. No, I think it's gonna be fun on a bun, man. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's like, "Well, what if we do? What do we do if we win?" And I was like, "Guys, I wanna say that we did it."
Yeah.
You know, that's really all I'm trying to achieve with it. So
Mhm.
that's awesome, man. Well, that was really my questions for you. I really appreciate your time and
Yeah.
coming and hanging out. Guys, if you're checking this out, tuning in, I hope this just inspires you to just take some action. If you've been sitting there, you think you're too old, it's too late, it's not your time, you won't know until you try. I mean, at the end of the day, we're in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It is not a huge market by any means, but you still found an acting coach
Mhm.
who ended up propelling you to get an agent that ended up getting you into commercial work, that ended up getting you into movie work.
Yep.
I mean, it can happen
Yeah.
anywhere. You just have to show up and keep showing up
Mhm.
and put all your effort into it because I know that's what you've been up to.
Right, yeah, and just don't stop working hard, just always work hard, don't give up on it,
Yeah.
even when you're it's like anything, like working out, anything that you do in life, just you gotta want it, and as far as acting goes, you have to take the leap,
Yeah.
because for me, it's like, why not? You know, I'll never know if I can ever do this, and now I know that I can,
Yeah. That's
so it's
awesome.
cool.
And I'm assuming that builds your confidence to just keep after it and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Well, right there, camera here, 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 man. You let the people know where can they find you? Where can they hire you?
Yeah, so you can call me, email me, but my Instagram is at modern_samurai_, and,
Longest title ever.
Argus
That
Styles,
does not have his name in it.
I haven't changed it, like, we were talking off camera earlier, and I was saying how with social media, I was just so against it. I'm not, like, a selfie guy and whatever, but now I'm, like, trying and
Kinda have to be.
I have to, so I'm trying.
You're your own brand
So
now.
I need to change the Modern Samurai, but that's just the martial art background in me, like, I love that, so I'm gonna change it, I'm gonna do it, but
Okay.
you can find me under Modern Samurai, or you can email me, my name is James, letter X, Perez at gmail.com, and also, this summer, Varmint is a horror western,
Oh,
takes place in 1860 that I got to be part of, and, I'm actually one of the main actors in that.
awesome.
So it's look out for that. If you guys like horror,
Do you know where they'll be able to maybe see it? YouTube, Tubi, Amazon? Do you know what they're gonna do with that?
I'm not sure what the direction there. It's editing now.
Sounds like I'll have you back on so we can talk about another project then, and maybe I can talk to that director as well. Well,
Sorry.
that was awesome. I mean, once again, first experience doing a podcast interview. This is something that we wanna do. Filmmaking is happening everywhere. I love talking about movies and all the big things that we love out there, but the process, that's what I really love. The passion, the creativity,
Yeah.
and it's really cool that we're building some momentum and something kind of exciting and new here in Colorado, so far removed from New York and LA, right? But it's pretty cool. So thank you all so much for tuning in. This is your screen jockey Chris with James Anthony Perez. Check out Seraphim on YouTube if you can.